Folks, back on the Bossman show, friend of the show, Casey Alexander, coach over the Belmont Bruins over there on Belmont Avenue. What's up, Casey? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, man, let me just start off in March, man. When everything shut down, man. How was it for you and your staff, man? You'd already played the tournament; it was already ended. But how was it when you found out that it was all over? Your seniors had to go home for good, couldn't see them again, and your guys away from you. How was that, man?
It was tough, really tough. I mean, you work all year to put yourself in position to play in the NCAA tournament, and our guys did that. We win the regular season, we win the conference tournament, and we're practicing for the NCAA tournament on a Thursday, and then they all go home on a Friday, and for most of them, I didn't see them again until the end of August. It was amazing. And so a lot of disappointments, but a lot of opportunities for growth. We learned a lot about ourselves and how important this game and our team is to us. And so, we're better because of it. We never would have wanted it, but we're better because of it somehow.
It's crazy, man. You were my last interview was with you. I talked to you on March 10th, right before everything went crazy, man. Like you were my last interview for the whole year went crazy, man. It's just wild, Casey. And like you said, man, I feel like 2020's made us all better as people, our players, my interns, your players. I feel like it's making us better leaders, better men. Just having to adapt more than ever and be there for others that are not beyond ourselves. So how's it been for you trying to lead young men, help them through all what's going on in our country, with all the pandemic stuff going on in around Nashville, Atlanta, all the places? How's it been for you, man? You're growing as a leader for you this past year.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of forced all of us to look at things from a different angle, and as much as I love being a basketball coach and X's and O's and games and strategies and wins and losses, I mean, you quickly learn that, life itself is a whole lot more about it's about a whole lot more than just that. And so, yeah, it's been an incredible growth opportunity for us, learning how to handle that, learning how to navigate a team and lead young men. And, when naturally they're disappointed and mentally, it's a struggle for all of us, but it's changed perspective. We've all learned, a whole lot more about the things that truly matter. And basketball and what we're doing is important, but it's not everything is the best way I could put it.
Got there right, Casey. And I know for me, as you know, my mom lives in Nashville still. So for me coming to Nashville, it's like it's weird seeing Nashville kind of shut down still the way it is, and then had the bombing happen there a few weeks ago. Man, it's all things that happening. It's just like wow, man. Basketball and radio is like it's important, but getting to spend time with your family, love on your people, like your family, your wife and your kids, and your family in Nashville, my mother as well. Like it's so much more important. That's what we love what we do, but like you said, it's so much more important than just what we do.
Yeah, everything has its place. There's no doubt about that. In a lot of ways, being able to be a team, being able to play games, being able to practice, being able to have some sense of normalcy has been good. I mean, that's the case for everybody, but the reality is also there are a lot of people that are really hurting. A lot of people that have been, tremendously affected with COVID and still are today. A lot of jobs lost, a lot of, financial troubles, a lot of mental problems. I mean, it's just, you in some ways you can't get away from it. So it's trying to balance those two things has been a challenge. Yet at the same time, it's been a blessing in its own way.
Think about your coaches on your staff who help your players with their grades and academic advisors, because I know going from on campus to virtual learning had to suck for some of your guys, man. So talk about how your staff, assistant coaches who have a few players probably, and your academic advisor help keep your young men, and also Scotch AD as well, helping your young men navigate that tough time this summer, being home virtually rather than being on campus at Belmont over there at your great campus.
Yeah, I think at first, they were probably excited. They're like, yeah, I don't have to go to class. I can do this from my room, and I don't even have to brush my teeth if I don't want to. I can just handle it this way. But we all, I think that's one thing we've all learned is just how much we value community and living in a community and with other people and interaction with other people. And so that's taken its toll for sure. And then it becomes a matter of self-discipline. Hey, are the guys going to get up and do what they're supposed to do? Can they be trusted in some ways to handle their business with maturity and discipline that it takes to be a student athlete virtually?
Oh yeah.
Fortunately for us, we've got those kinds of players, and I mean, our team GPA has been over a 3.0 for 20 straight years, so we don't have to motivate them too much. Certainly we have to keep a finger on them and monitor them and make sure they have the resources they need. But I give our players a lot of credit for just taking care of business as usual.
In case you guys have won 16 games in a weird year, man, with a lot of things going on, man. So just talk about testing to your guys, man, how you persevered through all the negativity around you guys, but still fall through it and won 16 games, 13 in a row. You got one out against Austin, Peter Knight up at Clarksville against Matt Figure and those guys. We'll talk about that in a little minute, but talk about how you guys have persevered all year long, winning all these games, when some teams haven't played games or canceled the whole year. You guys have played 17 already and playing at a high level as well.
Yeah, we've been lucky in that sense. We really had our battles, our most difficult battles. We didn't start our preseason stuff until September.
Oh, wow.
Literally from March until September, we didn't even have our players on campus. And then from September until the second week of December, we had more quarantine and contact tracing and isolation than we did practice. I mean, we just had very little to almost no preseason work. And so it was dicey. We didn't know how in the world we were going to have a season, and then, so we played our first 4 games with only 9 players. We played our next 4 or 5, with guys just coming back, for the first time. But since that time, we've been really lucky. And so, and there's no doubt that, the last 6 weeks where we've had our whole team available to practice and play, there's no doubt that that's a big reason why we've had the success that we've had. Other teams have not been so fortunate. They may have had a better summer or a better preseason, but now they're having to deal with it now, so, and it's just going to come and go. I mean, we're foolish to think that it's going to be smooth sailing from here on, but we'll do what we can.
And thankfully, the OVC is more of a bus league. You don't have to really get on a plane. So that helps too. You can kind of be in your bubble, get on your bus, go to the game, and come back. Like this with Austin, Peanut, and Murray. That's a bus and back for you guys. You don't have to get on a plane or be in a hotel. So talk about how your league and how it's spread out helps you as well control COVID and containing as well.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier, especially for us because we're centrally located within our league. We opened our season in Washington, D.C. because we chose to. We actually bused there. But that's the only hotel we stayed in is November 25th and 26th and 27th. Everything else has been same day trips and bus trips. And we have one trip to Eastern Illinois that's next week, where we'll have 3 nights in a hotel. And then we have Eastern Kentucky and Morehead State later in the season where we'll have a couple of nights in a hotel. And that's really it for our league. So it makes it a lot easier, a lot easier, a lot less risk in the OVC because it's, you're confined to just really your team and a bus and a game.
Yeah, because I know some conferences are playing those back-to-back games, which I know probably would kill your kids' legs because I'm seeing it right now. That second night is dicey, whether you win or lose, because guys don't quite have the recovery time. At least with your guys, simple schedule, you know what's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, travel if it's a game, or Thursday if it's home. So I feel like your league is perfect right now for this COVID thing, which is not too far away. Me and Nashville, great area to be in and be safe and keep your guys healthy because knowing what you've dealt with September to December. Keep it knowing that you really want to be good in March when it's that time of the year.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Our league, all of our league games are Thursday and Saturday, and are like many other leagues. We talked about other options. What would be the best way to handle this? But I think when it came right down to it, we the OVC offices and ADs and so forth. I mean, they felt like, we can proceed business as usual. We can keep our schedule. We added 2 conference games. That's one thing that we did. We just added 2 conference games to better assure that we would be able to get games in. But at the same time, no other schedules were altered. And, it's just, we play on Thursdays and Saturdays and have at it.
Talk about how key your AD was helping you guys, supporting you through all this time, because some schools don't have the support like a Scott Corley is to have your back the way he does, man. So talk about shout out to him for how he's done for your team and how you really helps you guys stay on task. We went through a tough time early in 2020 there.
Yeah, I mean, if people had any idea how much time that athletic directors and staff have put in to making this season a possibility, they would be totally blown away. I mean, those guys, our trainer, Scott Corley and his staff, I mean, they're COVID experts. They've had to navigate fundraising and game management and everything else that normally comes with their job, along with being COVID experts and
Oh
and
yeah.
contact and testing and everything else. And there's no chance that we could be playing games if they hadn't done all the work and are still doing all the work to make it possible.
And the elephant in the room, in cases you and I both know this, that you gonna need the money because the NCAA tournament pays for the non-revenue sports for all the teams. Men's basketball raises the most money for college athletics all around. So we need that tournament to happen to get that money for all the non-revenue sports that Belmont and other schools have that need this. Since you all couldn't go out and play guaranteed games and make the money you usually would make to help the general budget. So you need that tournament to cover everything so people can have jobs, not get laid off. So many layers to it. People don't really realize that you and I realize.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's priority number one for the NCAA to make sure that men's basketball March Madness postseason tournament happens, and they've put in, obviously moving it to one location in Indianapolis, is the safest route to go for that, and we're all just kind of crossing our fingers, hoping we can get there. Not necessarily, obviously I want my team to be playing in the NCAA tournament, but from a school and a budget and, standpoint that, we all need the NCAA tournament to be played because we all benefit greatly.
Most definitely. In case you got a game out against Austin P. Matt does a great job. He's very intense. Terry Taylor's always a tough guy to cover. And defensively, he's always going to play you tough. So tell us about what you're on film from Matt and his guys, how tough the game will be night when you go to Clarksville, play those guys stayed up there at the Dunn Center.
Well, they're a tremendously talented team, and Terry Taylor is one of the best OVC players of all time. And he's a nightmare matchup for all of us. He proves it game in and game out. He's a walking double. And he's, to his credit, he went from a guy that really was played inside the 3-point line his first year or two to a guy that has, deep range now from the 3-point line. He can drive it from the perimeter. So that's where the challenge always starts there, but that's not all they've got. Jordan Adams is a really gifted player. They've got role players that are coming into their own. So we absolutely know it's going to be a challenge. You can throw the records out for sure because they're just that kind of team, and Matt's teams always play hard. And we had 2 great games with them last year. We won one and lost one, and I would expect tonight to be down to the wire and look just like those did.
Casey, last one for you, man. What was your quarantine hobby, man? I was playing the guitar and, man, and walking doing the trails, man, here in Atlanta. So what was your quarantine hobby while you was in the house this summer, man?
Well, my wife would have kicked me out of the house if I was trying to play a guitar. Even though I'm a Nashvilleian and lived here my whole life, I don't have a musical bone in my body. Golly, I walked the streets of Nashville more than I ever thought I would. We did some serious exercising, and I definitely read a lot more. I like to read, but I usually don't take the time to do it, and I did a lot of that. So, and really just, I spent a great amount of time with my family, which was needed and helpful and useful.
And I would say too, Casey, with you guys not being able to recruit, so I guess you're at home more now than ever because your wife sees you more, kids see you more now, more than ever. So is your wife sick of you yet, man? She happy to see what she has, man. Yeah, she wants you to get back on the road.
There's no doubt about it. Yeah, and that part has been really unique. Just not only with our season not traveling, but not having. Usually an off day for us means we travel somewhere to go watch somebody play. And so now off days are off days. There's nowhere to go. So but. Somehow we keep ourselves busy. It seems to never stop, whether we can travel or not, and the coaches are just wired that way. Keep me busy, give me something to do. And we find something to do pretty much all the time.
I got you. Hey, Casey, man, thank you for your time, buddy. Hope to see you real soon. I told you, Greg, I miss seeing you guys, man. Hopefully it's COVID stuff lets up, man. I can see you guys again, come by the office and chop up with you again. We all did flash you last few years, buddy.
That's right. Yeah, I look forward to that day myself.
All right, buddy, be good. Because look good out there against Miss Matt, man. Thank you so much for your time, buddy.
Take care.
All right.